Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Just like we told you in the morning, that we'll be talking about other leagues in our subsequent edition. We'll be looking at German Bundesliga, Italia, and also French League On. A lot of matches were played. It's never too late. You just have to look at how it is. A lot of people really love football, and we have to talk concerning that. I have with me in the studio Ayo Adams. Good to have you, Ayo. It's evening time, so let's talk some sport this evening.
Yeah, let's do that.
Good one. Let's look at German Bundesliga. Even though we've treated Spanish La Liga, we have to look at how it's going over there in Germany. Let's start with the result quickly, where matches were played. Bayern Munich against VfB Stuttgart 2-2. A big one for Stuttgart. They have been able to score 2 goals away at the Bavarians' home Allianz Arena. Eintracht Frankfurt, they were defeated by VfB Wolfsburg, who came from the Volkswagen Arena. Augsburg also pipped Werder Bremen 1-0. Hertha Berlin 2. Bayern Leverkusen 2. You have Leipzig 1-2-3 against Borussia Dortmund. A good one for Leipzig. They really show class against Borussia Dortmund. 1899 Hoffenheim 4. Mainz 0-5-1. Good one for Schalke 0-4. They also won against Bochum 1848 3-1 as FC Cologne lost at home against Union Berlin. Unexpected there. Well, Freiburg against Borussia Mönchengladbach ended 0-0, and just have to look at all these results right now. From these results, you look at a lot of scorers when it comes to football in Germany. But let's quickly look at the table before Ayo will be doing justice to those matches. The way the table is standing right now, Union Berlin. Seriously, you're even smiling. Seriously, Union Berlin for the first time, they are here. They are topping the table. No one can actually believe what's happening. Are they going to do the Leicester of German Bundesliga? Really, they are top of the table with 14 points after playing 6 matches with a +9. You have Sporting Freiburg, who actually standing second with 13 points. Bayern Munich, the giant, they are standing third, though with gold points, 2 points behind Union Berlin. Hoffenheim at standing 4th. You have Borussia Dortmund, despite that loss against Leipzig, they were still able to hold their own. They are standing 5th on the log. You have Mainz 5, FC Cologne. Ayo, I think I should just leave this for you to handle.
I mean, if you look at the table, when you see Union Berlin, it's the very first time. I mean, that, after how many match days, somebody's already leading the double. But you can't take anything from Bayern Munich to. I mean, losing Lewandowski is quite evident. That it's quite showing. I mean, they got Sadio Mane, who is back in the goals, but still, I mean, the rhythm isn't back yet. They've gotten 2 draws repeatedly, and we are now looking at, like you mentioned, a Leicester, the Union Berlin, and the Union Berlin won 1-0 yesterday against Cologne. And one thing is that there's the fact that Bayern might have to wake up this season if they do not, because it's not only Union Berlin challenging them, there's also Freiburg there who's trying to challenge them for the title this season. I mean, maybe because they've won it 10 times in a row, maybe they are just, okay, let's just give them a chance. Because I mean, people have been talking about the fact that it's a Bayern-owned league. Every single season, we all know what's going to go down. Maybe this is probably the season where the mantle of leadership will start to change, so as in the Italian Serie A when Conte broke the Juventus deadlock. So it will be really remarkable for football to see that. It will be a win for all football fans to see that somebody is about to.
It seemed like Union Berlin.
Yeah, Union Berlin to come out
unbelievable.
Very unbelievable. Very, very unbelievable. I recall I was talking to someone and I said, "Oh, you know that Bayern is not leading the table." He laughed, like, because it was quite unbelievable.
By now, you see Bayern extra 6 points.
They have probably won all their games, but that just shows that, look, when a team transitions, when you lose a vital player, like, because after Lewandowski left, they kind of like talked about the fact that it wasn't going to affect them. It's quite evident that it is showing, regardless of the fact that they have Leroy Sané, Sadio Mane, and really good goal bangers in there. But I mean, having that one person that in such a game where they play 2-2, Lewandowski will have given them a 3-2.
And you look at, I look at you, this Union Berlin. I was like, I wouldn't even be like, I left this club,
people, and then I'll do like this.
I went to the Forest. Now the Union Berlin turned to City.
And even in the Forest,
it's not having a full time. You have Dennis is there. He's also there. But really, it has not been that kind of click.
What are they expecting when a team buys over 20 players? If a team buys over 20 players, you have to be a Lionel Messi to think you're the one that is going to be starting in the forefront. Because buying over 20 players and transferring them means
everybody will fight for honor.
You have to fight for your place. You honestly have to fight for your place. So, and when it gets brought in, I mean, is the Premier League. So as a player as a young striker coming into the Premier League, you need that time to blend in. If you're not getting that time, that's already a problem. People who even have time don't even get to show themselves. I was supposed to someone who just gets 10, 15, 20 minutes. How are you supposed to come out and play? But it was a good move for him. But I still believe in Awoni that it will come up. But back to Union Berlin, I will be solidly behind. I'll be gearing for them to take the Bundesliga.
But seriously, Union Berlin topping the table there. Well, Awoni will be looking at that team. What happened? What's the secret? And right now, they are really going places. Going back to the table now from the bottom, let's look at Veve Bochum. Just the way they came, it seems to be going back now. No point after 6 matches, not a single point.
Not a single
Zero, minus. They've considered 14 goals. And you look at Bayer Leverkusen, surprisingly.
That's a surprising one.
Leverkusen standing 17th with just 4 points from 6 matches. One of the biggest team in Germany. Wolfsburg, same thing, and they have 5 points, 6 matches, -5. What's happening? My team really are falling in Germany.
I just think it's a case of a good transfer window. Transition and
will I add complacency to it?
Honestly. Because at the end of the day, big teams sort of look at themselves as we are big. And whether we like it or not, we'll probably get back to the top. And then there's the smaller teams or the incoming teams or the teams that have regrouped during the transfer window, looking at them like, okay, we're also here to fight for the title, or we're also here to fight for the top spots. Because now there's now UEFA. So because there's a Europa Conference League, there is more fight. Usually it was a Champions League where you have
the big boys.
And then the Europa League, you know, that the 7th. Then there is a Conference League. So there are more people trying to fight to, okay, if I don't get the taste of the Champions League, Europa, there's Conference League.
The third one,
so
at
now
least.
that now trickles down to everybody who is now sitting idly by with, So some of them are not even actually playing for the fact that they want to win the league. Some of them know they cannot win the league, but at the least to get that, even if it's playoff, to get to a chance.
At least you get something from UEFA.
Yes, that's how Rangers got into the Champions League. The chance to get a playoff, to get in there. They defeated PSV, then they got in there. So some of them are actually doing the same thing. And then the other teams who have been there, they probably, like you call them, the big boys of the German Bundesliga, are now looking at the fact, now suffering the fact that, okay, they're probably losing sight or losing focus. And I mean, I'm
surprising.
I'm all for the new teams who are running the show.
Maybe this issue also happen although that France own may just be not working because it may not work for now because PSG just want to be resting on their oars at all. But for Germany, it will be nice for a lot of fans will be happy to see a new team, not even the Wolfsburg of this world or Leverkusen or Dortmund, but a new team like Freiburg or Union Berlin really as they are standing right now. If they can go now, top scorers, we have Gerardo Becker, the same of Union Berlin. It's as if anyway, I wouldn't leaving that club. I've really given Union Berlin, Gerardo Becker 5 goals. Niklas Füllkrug of Werder Bremen is actually has 5 goals. Jamal Musiala Bayern 4 rather. Christopher Nkunku 4. And you have Sadio Mane with 3 goals. That's how it stands right now in the top scorer in the Bayern Bundesliga that we've been looking at. Now let's move away from Bundesliga. Let's go Italia. So the matches were also played. A big one. If we look at Juventus versus Salernitana, what a dramatic game.
Drama.
But let's start from Napoli against Spezia. Good one. A player called Caravecchia has really taken over. Is now the most popular player. Yeah. They call him Maradona. Good one. Inter Milan won it against Torino. You have to give it up to Sampdoria too. What they played tried, but AC Milan they won 2-1 in that game. Oliver Giroud, star player, good one for Atalanta. Cremonese 1-1. Bologna 2. Fiorentina 1. Anatovic among the scorers there. Lecce 1. Monza 1. Sassuolo against Udinese favored Udinese as Hellas Verona. They were defeated by Lazio in the city of Rome. Good one for Immobile and the entire squad. But the most dramatic game, how many red cards? About 4.
4 red cards.
Juventus, Salernitana. They were trailing.
It was
anyway, they were trailing. They got back to the game 2-2. And when they thought they'd done it 3-2, they were celebrating. And before you know it, the ref called for a VAR. What a dramatic game.
The most dramatic part was the fact that Milik, who scored the 3rd goal, who he had thought was going to be the winner, celebrated by pulling off his jersey. In the light that
caution,
okay,
it was caution.
Yeah, it was caution, and he already had an existing yellow card. So now, if I was the one who scored the winning goal, I wouldn't mind getting a red card and getting all 3 points. All of a sudden, he's gotten a red card, he's gone out, VAR has checked, goal was cancelled, he's out.
And he won't play.
And then Cordado, Allegri got red cards for protesting. Also, a Salernitana player also got a red card for protesting. There were 4 red cards and the game ended 2-2. It was such a brilliant game to watch.
Very, very dramatic
It was very
game.
dramatic.
You look at that game, you're like, what happened to Juventus? They seem
slow start.
I was like, what's happening to Juventus? Piatek, all of them. The game was somehow, because you just have to look at what Salernitana did to hold on to it. They scored those 2 goals before Juventus came back to score.
I think what has been evident so far, like I've said it clearly from the other leagues, is the fact that new teams are gearing up, right? And I think Juventus is suffering the fact that their style of play has quite changed. Now they brought in Vlahovic, who was supposed to be the one poaching them the goals, but there's little or no creativity around him to create those chances.
But really, he has been able to at least score some goals.
He has scored some goals.
Yes.
He has scored some goals. He's even scored 2 free kicks, back-to-back free kicks, when so far this season. It's just that consistency has not been there for Juventus so far. And Allegri happens to be a stunted coach in certain ways. He has shared this mentality with certain coaches. This is how I want to play, and we must play like this to win. So he's not a flexible coach that tends to want to mix things up. He doesn't really want fancy football. Just gets us the three points at stake. And I mean, letting go of a creative player like Paulo Dybala and not getting someone extremely creative as such
to replace him.
You watch them against the PSG in the Champions League. They were just there. There was no little. Yes, you can have goal scorers. Yes, you can have good wingers, but there has to be someone in the middle of the park who can mix things up, who can create chaos in the middle of the park, who can at least create 4 or 5 chances for your attackers to score. What Vlahovic was nowhere to be found when it came to scoring the goals, and it all boils down to chance creation. At the end of the day, the chance creation. And if you don't have creative midfielders in the middle of the park, those chances won't come, and those goals won't get at the back of the net. So, I mean,
well, for Juventus right now, they just have to get their act together. Those red cards really will tell on them. It will affect that team. But really, I give it up to Salernitana, who saw they nearly conquered. Scoring 2 goals away in Turin is not a child's play. Against giants like Italian, as in Juventus, it's not a child's play. But the atmosphere surrounding the 2 goals that were actually equalized, all of them did well by getting those 2 goals. But for that last gap of that particular game, where the celebration went haywire and everything turned upside down, where they were actually celebrating that we've done this, they were almost, if not, I'm sure if he had not pulled his shirt and he just celebrated normal, maybe that goal could have actually stand. But,
but the thing is, they're coming back from a 2-goal deficit. Scoring that first goal in the 94th minute was a joy. It was a delight. And like I said, at the back of his mind, he was thinking, well,
we've done it.
So pulling off my jersey and celebrating is well worth getting a red card for. Is well worth it.
Not knowing that
it was going to be chalked up.
It will be cancelled. And, oh my goodness, we're talking about
football and drama.
Seriously, dramatic Juventus, Salernitana. We've been talking about Italia, Serie A. Matches were played, and really for Napoli, good one. Although a particular player, Kvaratskhelia thereabout, has really taken the spotlight from Victor Osimhen in Napoli. Right now, the player from Georgia has really taken over. In fact, I saw a particular post this morning that his name is a bit Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia really has become the player that almost all the fans at the city of Naples are shouting. They are just shouting his name if he's playing. The whole stadium is after Kvaratskhelia right now because he's like the man of the moment. He's their new Maradona. What a way to go.
What a way. And the city of Naples happened to be a city where they really do respect footballers. Take it back to the moniker that they coined for him, the Cravadona. When Maradona also came into Napoli, when he gave them that spotlight, they worshipped him a lot. They really did worship him a lot. And then when Victor Osimhen also came in, Victor Osimhen is quite popular in Naples too. But there's something with football is who's more consistent?
Consistency.
Who's there to deliver for us when we need them to deliver? And Kvaratskhelia was bought at a very cheap price. He was bought at a very, very cheap price, and he was playing in Ukraine when the whole thing started. He was bought at a very cheap price. Then the moment the sporting director saw that he was free, we just went to go and get him. They didn't really bargain anything. They just signed him down and to let him know that, look, Insigne and Mertens are leaving next season. You have a free role to play. It's not like as if you're coming into a squad and you're going to compete for anything. No, you're coming in to play. for just chicken change compared to how much players were, compared to how much Osimhen was, but it's just peanuts.
And now
look at it, it's become a gold mine. He's become a favorite in the city of Naples. And all he needs to do is score 10 plus goals this season, which I believe he's going to get.
He will.
Going to get.
He's really getting it right.
10 plus goals. And look at what it dismantled Liverpool's defense in the Champions League. And I mean, that's what I love to see young players do.
I'm seeing that next season, if he continue this way, expect a lot of clubs to run after him.
Most definitely. And Napoli will suitably sell at a big price. It's big. It's
they will make a lot of money.
Buying somebody for less than 20 million and selling for like 80, it's big business. So they
expect 100 million, because if he continue this way,
they will.
Right now, Osimhen needs to really pray.
He needs to wake up.
Well, Baracelia there, really a player that have really taken over Napoli by storm. He's really doing so well when it comes to football. Have we been looking at Italian Serie A right now? Let's go French as well. We look at French League on a lot of matches we also play. Just expect PSG, their usual custom. They were able to win just by a lone goal. Neymar was able to do that for them. They won against Beres, and you have Lens against Troyes at 1-0. Marseille against Lille, big match there where the man called Sanchez was able to score all the goals against Lille. Strasbourg 0-0. OGC Nice Pip Ayasio 1-0, Angers 2 against Montpellier, and you have Lorient where Terem Murphy, his team, actually they did well against Nantes. Although Simon Moses scored, but it was not enough. They lost 2-3 against another Nigerian team, that's Lorient, Terem Murphy. Toulouse 1, Reims 0. Reims 5, and you have that's Auxerre. They actually consider 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goals. Monaco against Lyon, big one coming from the two teams, a big match over the weekend. But for Monaco, they show why really they are the principality of of Monaco. They won against Lyon 1-0. And you look at the table right now, just not the way it is in Germany. Not the way it is in Germany at all. And you have PSG topping with 19 points, goal difference of 21, followed by Marseille. They have the same point, but on goal difference of 11, so they are leading with 10 extra goals. Lens, surprisingly, Lorient, Lyon. You have Reims, Monaco, Lille, Clermont, Montpellier in 10th position. And if you look at from the bottom of the table, Ajaccio, Angers, Brest, Strasbourg, Reims, Nantes, Auxerre, Troyes, and you have Nice in that pecking order, even to Toulouse, who are standing 11th on the lot. Now, Ayo, you look at PSG, Marseille, back-to-back, 19-19, but on goal difference. It seems Marseille are really, they've woken up from their slumber that we can do this.
Yeah, I mean, if you have players such as Dimitri Payet, a maestro in that man, and then you bring in an Alexis Sanchez, who is looking to rejuvenate himself back after the poor spell at Manchester United, then at Inter Milan, then they had to let him go. And I mean, and he's been doing well since he came on board. I think that's a really big fight for PSG also. The only difference that PSG will have ahead of Marseille, if Marseille keeps the consistency up, is the goal difference. PSG have the range to score multiple goals. If Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe get on their bandwagon, they can score 5, they can score 6, they can score 7. So on days like them, like their last match,
and they play at home,
where they scored 1 goal. I mean, there are days like that. But you know that when it comes to goal difference, so if Marseille really wants to contest for the Ligue 1 trophy, where they need to peep PSG is when they Les Classiques, when they both play each other. Those are the telling fixtures that might determine the course of the season for Marseille. But I think it's competitive enough, as opposed to the fact where you have already seen PSG running away with it from the beginning of the season. It's quite competitive this season, and that's one thing I love to see, that competitiveness. And that is what's actually affecting them, one way or the other, because they've discovered that, Marseille, we have the same point. If they win now, they're going to jump over and all that. So that pressure is there. And really, for teams like Lens, Lorient now, for Terem Murphy, he has been wonderful, about 5 goals or thereabout he has scored. Lyon, they are coming up. They have 13 points as against 19 that PSG and Marseille are having. And you have Monaco also. They are coming. They are Lille. All the big boys, little by little, they are moving closer. But for Marseille, PSG this season, like you said, it's going to be a big battle because right now it seems Marseille are really fired up. Yeah, they are.
They are fired up. We've been looking at all the top leagues there. Quickly, we look at matches that we played this evening that will be coming up in Italy and also in Spain, in Spanish La Liga. It will be a big one between Almeria and Osasuna. That will be a good one there because even though Almeria, they've missed their former striker, talking about Sadiq Umar, who have moved to join Real Sociedad. They will be up against Osasuna. Can they do it? We wait to see what they'll be doing there. And another match will be coming up in Italy. That will be between Roma. AS Roma will be playing away in Italia Serie A. That will be Empoli. Empoli will be at home against Roma. Can Roma win? Although after Dybala joined them and some couple of players, they've been able to turn things around because normally you see Roma, they call them sleepy giant. Yeah. They always sleep. But this time, they seem to be, they are awake a bit from their slumber. With Mourinho and his lads, Tammy Abraham, all of them, would they be able to turn things around in this game? Well,
let me go back to the sleeping giant. They started to sleep again. They lost 4-0 to Udinese on the last match there in the Serie A. Then they went into the Conference League and they lost again in the Conference League. So there's a little bit of that inconsistency.
The name they call them at times, actually stand by them. You see them call a team like this sleeping giant.
Sleeping giant. And that's because when they are supposed to do it, they just fall off. I mean, they came into the season, they were topping the table, they were winning games. Dybala got multiple goals coming on, and it was looking like a team that was ready to fight for it because they have really good players: Zaniolo, Pellegrini, Tammy, Dybala, and then with the special one behind at the touchline, giving them the instructions. You'd wonder why they would succumb, and when they lose, it's just awful. Because you wonder, the team that put up a spectacular performance 2-3 match days ago, how are you sleeping up and losing to a team of lesser quality? That's even in the Conference League, not even talk about Udinese really did usurp them on that day. But in the Conference League, it was a poor battle. But then we are seeing them again against Empoli. Let's see if they can turn the tables around.
Let's see if they can turn the tables around right now, talking about the French league there. A lot of, Italian Serie A, beg your pardon. AS Roma will be facing Empoli tonight, and that match, can they turn this around? Just like Ayo said, let's see if it will be happening. Almeria has now also be coming up in the Spanish La Liga to complete the weekend matches that was played by all the other teams. Now, let's quickly talk about two stories now. Chelsea, they have chances of getting closer to, if they can get Rafael Leao. Leao supposed to have talks with AC Milan for the renewal of his deal, but right now it seems not working out. And this player, very fantastic player, could be moving to Chelsea because Chelsea really won't give up. They won't back down in getting him.
This is a situation of a wrong move if it happens. For me, if Rafael Leao moves from AC Milan to Chelsea, to be a very poor move. Why not stay in the Italian Serie A and build your name? Why not stay in a city where you've been lauded, where you won the MVP of the Serie A last season, is become a new hero as he scored and assisted during the Derby Italia against Inter Milan. I mean, something that was only Shevchenko who had done long years ago. So why are you sorting for that move when you already have a team where you play regularly? He plays regular football.
Maybe he's a lover of EPL, 1. 2, the terms and conditions. You know, at times the contract deal of these players, if it might not actually favor him, one way or the other. Maybe it's any less compared to others.
That's probably most definite reason, because if you're talking about the optics about Premier League and the Serie A, yes, the Premier League has more visual optics and more publicity around it and hype around it. Yes, that's fine, but it doesn't still water down the fact that he's a top player, regardless of the fact of where.
One of the best in Italy.
Yes, so if you're a great player, whether you like it or not, your name will be sung high. The likes of Dybala never played in the Premier League, and we could repeatedly hear their name. Tammy Abraham went to Roma last season and did remarkably well. His name was still ringing in our ears.
In fact, I still remember when Obafemi Martins was with Inter, he was more popular than when he moved to Newcastle and all that. So it was much more popular.
So all he needs to do, if it's about the publicity and marketing and everything, play well. But the wages is a factor. A lot of young players now know that big contracts are awaiting them when they go to bigger clubs. So, and a club like Chelsea will offer you a big contract, as opposed to AC Milan, where it's being managed. Maldini has found a way to manage AC Milan back into their glory days, into a day where they can now compete. 2-3 seasons ago, they couldn't compete as they are now, and then winning the Scudetto last season. So for me, I think if he moves, it might probably be a move of like Hazard to Real Madrid, and it will be a poor one.
Let's also that it won't turn out to be a poor one for Rafael Leao there, AC Milan, and the last one has to do with Brighton. This time around, Celtic manager Postecoglou Ange right now could be the one, because although a long list of possible replacement of the man that has moved to join the Blues, Chelsea. That is Graham Potter. But from the way it is now, Postecoglou is on a long list of candidates to take over at Brighton. Among them, he plays with, he actually coached Celtic. I don't know why would he leave Celtic to go to Brighton.
I mean, you ask the same thing. Why would Graham Potter leave Brighton and go to Chelsea? But then you look at it, you see the fact that there's a thing with the Premier League. Let's not deny the fact that there's that thing about it.
It's understandable for you to move from Brighton to Chelsea. Yes, it's bigger,
but then Celtic,
far bigger.
I mean, he brought Celtic back into the Champions League. I mean,
if you think Rangers, you think Celtic. That's it. In Scottish League.
That's it. And you now you move to Brighton, which for him would look like a bigger step. But would they grant you the time you need? Because now you're stepping into Brighton, a team that has been brought and shaped up in an image of a coach. So you stepping into that place, you need to do extra work. It would, because with the Celtic team, he already has his playing card. But then moving to Brighton in the Premier League, I really don't think that's a good move. But it's a long list. If he gets picked, kudos to him, but Celtic will really feel the heat.
A long list coming from Brighton. They don't even know who to pick out of this long list. We wait to see who they'll be appointing. It was so easy for Chelsea as they pick Graham Potter to take over there at the Blues. Good one there with Ayo Adams. Thank you very much.
Always, Mr. May.
Well, we just have to go now on the show. 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.